In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a brand new systematic review screening project in Swift Active Screener. To get started, we are going to click the Add New Review button in the upper right corner. And when you do so, you should see the first in a series of 3 steps in which we will set up the new review. The first step is simply to give your review a name. In this example, we are going to be talking about a systematic review that deals with zebrafish embryo toxicity test. Specifically, the researchers were interested in determining if this test could be used as a substitute or to reduce the amount of animal testing conducted on mammalian models. So in this case, I will just give my review the name zebrafish test. And then I click the button Create Screening Level. In Swift Active Screener, reviews are divided into screening levels. Any article that is included by reviewers at level N can then proceed to level N+1 for further screening. For example, you might set up level 1 as title and abstract screening and level 2 as full text screening. But in this case, I'm going to start with just one level. And this level will be a title and abstract screening level. And so you can see that Active Screener is asking me to set up the questions I want to use for screening on this level. You'll notice it's already got one question set up for me automatically. This question is called the Inclusion-Exclusion question, and it's a special question. It's always a yes or no question, and the purpose of this question is simply for you to specify whether you want to include the article at this level. Active Screener will use the answer to this question to determine which articles are relevant and to build a model that can further prioritize the remaining articles for screening. And so this is the only question we really need for any given screening level. It's the only required question. But we do have the option of creating more questions that can be used to collect additional information during screening and to guide screeners in answering the inclusion-exclusion question. All of the information that we enter during question answering will be stored and tracked as the screening proceeds. In this case, I'm going to add a couple of additional questions to help guide my inclusion-exclusion decision. So first of all, in this review, the researchers were interested in developmental abnormalities. So I can create a question to ask the screeners if these are present. So I click Add Question. And I can type in my question text, do the study endpoints involve developmental abnormalities, i.e. fetal organ and skeletal malformations? And this will be a yes/no question. And so I'll type in my answers, yes, no. I can even add an additional answer, not sure or can't tell. And so you can also see that each question has a type. There are 3 types of questions, and the default is radio buttons. I'm just going to stick with that for this question. A radio button type question shows the user a series of what looks like buttons that they can click, but you can only click one of them, so only one answer is allowed. So another type of question is a checkbox question. So I'm going to add a checkbox question next. And so checkbox questions also show multiple answers, but they allow the user to check more than one of them. So you can check 0 or more answers. In this case, the reviewers were interested in specific outcomes, and they wanted the screener to check any of the following that applied. And so they had a list of outcomes, for example, morphology score, and a major organ malformations, skeletal, muscular, etc. And then the third type of question is free text. I generally like to add a notes question that would let the user enter any thoughts or comments in addition to the questions I've set up. So I can add a notes question as well. So I think in the original review, the review had about 7 different questions for level 1 screening, but I'm not going to actually set them all up right now. And there are some other project options that we could set here, and we'll come back and talk about some of those in a later video. But for now, this is the basic outline of my review. So I'm going to go ahead and save it and proceed to the next step. And in the third and final step, Active Screener is asking me to upload the actual citations that I would like to use for screening. And so in the next video, we'll show you how to do that.